Learn more about funeral arrangements and public observances honoring former President Jimmy Carter's legacy. Events that will span from Georgia to Washington, D.C. And joining us now to talk more about the passing of our nation's 39th president is Mike Litteris with the National Park Service. Mike, good morning. I hate to see you under these unfortunate circumstances, but I want to give you a moment to sort of reflect and also, your reaction to the news that we got on Sunday.
Well, good morning, Annie, and yeah, thanks for having me on. It's a bittersweet day for sure. There is sorrow at the passing of President Carter, but eventually this will, I think, be a celebration of a life very well lived. Not only in politics, in the public eye, but in his home state of Georgia and in Plains, and everything he did in the White House and out to make this a better world.
Right. And, we're just starting to learn sort of what to look forward to in the days coming. What can you share with us as far as the funeral arrangements go?
As Jacqueline mentioned in her report, the details are expected to be released today, but we do know that it will follow the format of a state funeral, which means that it's essentially done in three phases. The first phase takes place in the home state of the late president, and that will, of course, be in Georgia. Those activities centered in Atlanta, where the Carter Center was headquartered. Then there will be a portion that moves to Washington, D.C., to the nation's capital. Opportunity for the president to lie in state in the Capitol, state funeral at the National Cathedral, and then ultimately returns back to Georgia for internment at the Carter family residence in Plains.
And, Mike, if you knew Jimmy Carter, you knew that he had a very special place in his heart for Habitat Humanity. Also, of course, that spans globally, but also has an impact here in Washington, D.C. But he also was a devoted supporter of the national parks. And, can you sort of speak to that and the impact that his support for the environment, national parks, giving back to the community really made, and how it influenced his leadership and also his policy making?
Absolutely. As president, Jimmy Carter visited national parks regularly as part of his summer vacations. We've got pictures of him walking around the tidal basin during cherry blossom season. And in fact, in 1980, as part of the Alaska National Interest Lands Conservation Act, President Carter set aside more than 43 million acres of national park land in Alaska. That more than doubled the size of the national park system as it existed at the time. And even once he left office, he continued to support the national parks. In fact, in 1987, he and Mrs. Carter donated the family residence to the National Park Service. So a lot of people don't realize, but much of Plains, Georgia is a national park today. The Carter family residence, the high school that they both attended, the Carter Boyhood Home, and the train depot where he ran his first campaign for president out of. So those areas are national parks, and President Carter was a devoted participant in that community. He greeted visitors regularly throughout his retirement years. He and Mrs. Carter attended events at the park. So it is again a very bittersweet day for everyone in the National Park Service and everyone in America today.
Indeed, it is. I think that he brought so much awareness to the importance and significance of public land and preserving it for future generations. And, like you said, so much work, not only during his presidency, but post-presidency as well. So much to talk about, but our time is short here. Mike, thank you so much for taking some minutes out this morning to speak with us.
Thanks, Annie. Appreciate you having me.
Thanks, Mike. We'll, of course, have much more on former President Carter's legacy throughout the morning, including more reaction from across the world. And streaming right now on WUSA 9 Plus is a full special report with an in-depth look at Carter's life and legacy.